What is that?
Not again. Wait here.
Welcome back to the Haddonfield podcast, where we review horror movies and horror franchises. I'm Mark,
I'm Tawan.
and today we're reviewing Trick or Treat, released in 2007, written and directed by Michael Dougherty. Tawan, can you get the people to plot something?
Trick or Treat is a horror anthology that unfolds on Halloween night in a small town. The plot follows four interconnected stories. But before we get into our movie, we will give you guys some Haddonfield headlines this week. So first up on the docket, Mike Flanagan has wrapped production on his Carrie series. If you all are unaware, Mike Flanagan, who's known for doing Doctor Sleep, he did Gerald's Game, and a bunch of other like horror projects, like originals and things of that nature. Um, he was tapped to do a series based on the Stephen King book Carrie, so this will technically be his fourth adaptation of a Stephen King work. As I mentioned before, so Gerald's Game, Doctor Sleep, The Life of Chuck, and now Carrie. We don't know how long this series is gonna be. Um, yeah, it wasn't mentioned here, like how many episodes they previously had it at, but we talked about this a bit earlier in the year, and I'm usually like, do we need another Carrie adaptation? Definitely not. Carrie's kind of is one of those stories that I feel as though you can do so much with, but um, there's a little bit more that you could probably go into with it being like a series or maybe like a mini series. And so I'm hoping that's what we kind of get with this show. Mike Flanagan has a good track record with all of his works that he has done so far. Um, everybody loved Haunting of Hill House, and also Midnight Mass was really good as well, and Bly Manor. And that last show he did, The Fall of the House of Usher, was good as well. So his track record on just doing like horror related TV shows has been really good. So I'm interested. I'm going to check it out once it releases. I know Mark wasn't as favorable to this one. Do you think you're going to check it out at least
Um,
when it comes out?
I'm gonna check it out because this isn't the first time that they attempt to do it. This isn't the first time they attempted a Carrie TV show. This will be the first time it actually comes to fruition. But they've tried it before. We're going to review it at some point. But that 2002, 2003
Mm-hmm.
remake, like TV remake of Carrie, that was supposed to be like the
Yeah.
movie that's kicked off a TV series, but the ratings didn't hit for that movie, so it never came into fruition. But like you said, like what else can you show us? We already have three versions of the Carrie story plus a sequel. I don't know what more you can tell us. Like, I was going to say, like, okay, maybe every generation of women of girls need Carrie, but like, I don't know. Several generations did just fine with that original Carrie movie, and Chloe Grace Moretz was good, but I don't think we needed another version of Carrie. But like, it's Mike Flanagan. I will tune in. I'm not enthused, but I'll watch and see what's up.
And after taking another look, this will be an 8 episode series.
Not bad. That's actually it's actually not bad. I can get behind that. Actually, no, I'm sick of these 8 episode series, but I feel like this is like perfect for this because
Yeah,
I don't think there's much story to tell with Carrie. So 8 episodes, that works.
yeah. I feel like shit 6 to 8. That's what I was thinking in my head. So we'll see once it gets around to it. Um, yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out once it drops for sure. We even have some of the because Mike Flanagan likes to work with a lot of the same people, which I mean, it's not like a bad thing. He just has a good track record with them. So some of the people from his other series are also gonna be in this one as well. So I'm pretty excited for that. Moving on though, Mark wanted this one included because for our gamers out there, you'll be soon able to play a paranormal activity video game. Isn't this what you guys wanted? You asked for this, right? We all asked for a paranormal activity video game in our year 2025. When the last paranormal activity movie came out in 2020, 2021 ish, it wasn't even connected to the movies that came before.
See, I wanted to bring this up because I keep circling back to the article we talked about earlier when they said horror has become oversaturated. Horror video games have become oversaturated. Now, the initial ones, the initial push, I was behind. The Friday the 13th game, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, the Killer Clowns from Outer Space game, the Evil Dead game. I was behind all of those. But they all flopped in one way or another. Mostly because a good chunk of them are had the same developers behind it, and they would just drop a game while it's like doing big. So fuck them. But now
I
we have a now we have a Halloween game coming out. We have a Hellraiser game coming out, and now there is a Paranormal Activity. I don't. But
now
Paranormal Activity
what I will say,
is
all those are three different games.
they all are three different games. But what? See, I've never seen Paranormal Activity. So, like, how are you playing that as a video game?
This seems like we're playing like fuck. Why am I forgetting the name of that damn game? Um,
Five Nights at Freddy.
no, it's like a ghost hunting
Oh,
game. Wait, I got my Steam up right now. Let me just look. Um, because definitely forgetting the name of this fucking game. But it's like a ghost hunting game where you play with your friends and ghost hunt. Now this doesn't seem like it's like multiplayer, in that same realm, but essentially in that game you would go around, look for the ghost and all that, and try to like find them. But it does not look like I have this game installed right now, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Well, moving on until I find that. Um, this game though, the Paranormal Activity one, yeah, I don't know. Now, I will say the developers of it are behind this other horror game that came out. How long ago was that? Mortuary Assistant. I don't recall, but it was a game called the Mortuary Assistant, and that was a pretty decent game. Um, and it also is now getting a movie adaptation, so I wonder if that kind of this kind of helped out with that. But aside from that, like I feel as though this only just called paranormal activity to get the to get the sales there for it because it could
Or-
be a good game. For all I know, it could be a good game. Mortuary Assistant was very well received and good enough for it to be an indie game that's now getting an official like movie out of it, even quicker than fucking Five Nights at Freddy's. That's been going on since we were in high school. So I'm so I mean I'm probably not gonna be the one to play it, but I'm sure some Twitch streamer that I'll watch is gonna be playing this, and they will definitely let me know if it's good or not. But yeah, it's just
take
hearing.
a peek. I'll take a peek at like some gameplay, kind of same way I did with Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the other ones, but I probably won't play. Like of the games I listed, the only ones that I want to play is well, they're Halloween because it's Michael Myers. Why wouldn't I play that one? And then Hellraiser because Hellraiser is the only one I can that seems like it's going to be completely different. I'm not a Paranormal Activity fan, but I hope that this game doesn't disappoint the fans who do decide to play it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think for me, and also just so people know, I was not tweaking out. The game I was thinking about was Phasmophobia. It just was not coming to my head for some reason. But yeah, I mean, I think this could be like decent, especially with the developers they have behind it. But um, yeah, I'm not holding any breath on this, but it's just hearing the words paranormal activity video game in 2025 that doesn't give me like, oh, this is gonna be good. That sounds like, oh, this is gonna be a cash in to me. Just hearing that, but who knows? I've been proven
The
wrong
only I'm
before.
gonna be honest, the only franchise that had like good video games, and it's gonna be wild that I say this, but it was Saw. Those Saw games were fun.
They were fun, but they weren't good.
They weren't good, but they were fun. And I feel like it's so hard for some of these games to be fun because they're trying to do so much fan service and that they miss out on the actual like making the game fun. And I don't know. I just hope people enjoy the Paranormal Activity game.
Well, personally, I personally don't even think it's the whole fan service of it. I just think a lot of the games that have came out, they're not anything else other than Dead by Daylight clones.
Yep. You
And
aren't
because
wrong.
there's only so much you can do with those asymmetrical games where it's 1v4 and like all this other stuff is happening, and some of the games don't have enough shit to like fulfill a whole game. Like the Texas Chainsaw one, it makes sense to me. Don't nobody remember those characters. Like I'm sorry, like nobody remembers those survivors. Like who are these people? I only remember who's that? What's that girl named Jessica Biel? She was in the remake. that's that's
Well, real fans of the Texas Chain, they remember like like Chop Top and the Cook, but it's like the memorable characters from that franchise, they aren't in or were barely in that first movie, which means that the people who are making the games didn't have the rights to them. So, like, what's the point?
and then it's just like there should have just been a DLC for um DLC for Dead by Daylight because now the game isn't active anymore, and it just keeps going down that whole cycle where they get it started, put development into it, and now like the game isn't alive anymore when it
I'm
just could have
fully
been.
expecting. I'm fully expecting Halloween to be have like a year. That's it.
Yeah, I I feel like I like Halloween and Friday the 13th could have stretched. Well, Friday the 13th, if it wasn't have the whole legal issues. It could have stretched more because there's a lot more going on with Jason,
Oh, I
a lot
was
more
I was
recognizable.
they were teasing the Jason X map, and I could not wait for that. I was so hyped for the Jason X map. And then they were talking about doing like a boat map. There were other like maps and things you could have did with Jason, and I was so excited to get there. But that was a lawsuit issue. I won't blame the developers on that one. That was a lawsuit issue. And there's a lot you can do with Michael Myers. They have a bunch of different. Luckily for them, the Akkad family owns the overall rights to Halloween, so they can do whatever they want. They can give us Stu Laurie Strode. They can give us the daughter being one of the survivors. They can give us Paul Rudd as one of the fucking survivors. I mean, if they want to go balls to the wall crazy, they can have a whole fucking thing with the cult members from movie 3. They can give us Rob Zombie, the Rob Zombie experience. Like, they can do more with Halloween because one family has the overall rights to Halloween. So that's kind of different. If
Yeah,
that game if that game fails, it's completely because of the developers because they have all the legal rights. Like you can't do shit with Halloween without the Akkads. The fact that they're even making a game means the Akkads are behind it. So they could just be like, do whatever the fuck you want because the Akkads are there. So if you mess this up, it's the developer's fault this time. I don't know what Paranormal Activity, like, I haven't seen those movies. I don't know if they have like some big like roster, or I know there's time travel kind
no,
of involved. Oh, okay.
no. I mean, like, there's no like roster. No, nobody. Like, it's not like that. This story seems to be original though.
Okay.
For this new Paranormal Activity game. So yeah, this seems to be an original story of two characters that are not connected to the movies. So yeah, we're gonna have to see about this one. I'm not too sure. And also with like the other games as well. Um, I would say the only one I'm excited for is that Hellraiser one, just because it's single player, fully story type of deal. But yeah, I'm getting a bit tired of these asymmetrical um like horror games, the Halloweens and Friday the 13th, because I really, even if the developers do a good job, there's only so much to sustain with those. Um, that it's just gonna be the fans keeping it alive for the love of the game, and but Dead by Daylight just cannibalizes all of those because it's just so huge and it has like a really big fan base and they just been updating it for so many years that a lot of people who like those games, if they're not filling another one, they just go back to Dead by Daylight. So well, we'll have to check in whenever there's an update on these and see how's it going. But can't say I'm excited, but I'm intrigued. Moving on though. Jennifer's Body director Karen Kusama provides update on the quote fun and crazy sequel. So, Jennifer's Body is currently more celebrated than ever 16 years after its botched release, and now we are getting talks of a sequel from the creative team behind the original. Now, they've been talking about a sequel to Jennifer's Body for a while. I feel like I hear something about that like every year, something about like a Jennifer's Body sequel. But recently, the director Karen Kusama spoke to Deadline about the idea, which is currently in the works from writer Diablo Cody, who worked in the original. Kusama is quoted saying, "I know she's working on it right now, and I'm very excited to hear what comes of it." I know some of the bones of it, so I'm not going to give anything away, but it sounds fun and crazy like the first film, and I have no doubt that Diablo would do something absolutely incredible with it. I like Jennifer's Body. Like, it's a fine movie, but what I like, do I need a sequel to Jennifer's Body? Not really. That's also can be said to for a lot of other movies as well. Like, do I need a sequel? Probably not. But also, I don't want a sequel to this either. Because the ending is fine. I think where it stops is fine. Um, I really don't think that these days Megan Fox is that as good as an actress as not saying that she was amazing back then, but um, none of the recent work that she's been in has done anything to prove me different. Um, like prove difference of opinion on her, and yeah, so I don't know what to think about this. To be quite honest, Amanda Seyfried has expressed interest in reprising her role as Needy should something come of a sequel. So we have that going for it, but it seems like it's too late.
This needed to come out about 8 years ago, if not 10, because I loved Jennifer's Body. I still do, but I don't think we need this sequel. I don't even know if I'll watch it, if I'm being honest. I don't even know.
All right, Mark. If you were to cast two newbie girlies as Megan Fox and Amanda Seyfried's characters from Jennifer's Body right now, who would you cast?
Sabrina Carpenter as
Oh, we were thinking the same shit.
Sabrina Carpenter as Amanda Seyfried's character, and it would just make sense to put Jenna Ortega in Megan Fox.
See, I wouldn't put Jenna Ortega. I would do Madison Beer
Oh, I can see that.
because she kind of gives me that Megan Fox vibe. And now, can she act? Who knows? But we've also asked the same with Megan Fox.
We asked that for how many Transform movies and how many Ninja Turtle movies?
Yep. So yeah, we could put Madison Beer in there, but her and Sabrina, I could see it.
Give it to me.
But yeah, so I don't. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna come of this. It's just a little too late. Honestly, at this point, if if y'all wanted a script, y'all should have. If y'all wanted a sequel, this should have been done by now. Not saying the actual sequel, but I'm saying who the writer should have written this years ago. Why is it being written right now?
Insane.
I don't even remember the last project I saw Diablo Cody attached. Actually, one project I remember Diablo Cody attached to a little while ago was that damn canceled CW Powerpuff Girls show.
I'm so happy that never came into fruition. Every set photo I saw just pissed me off. And it's like I get it. It's an adaptation of the cartoon, but I'm like, this is not given. Like, just kill this. Not every popular cartoon of the late '90s and 2000s needs to be made into a live action CW show. Because I just knew it was going to become about sex and romance and relationship, and the Powerpuff Girls was going to be second. Like, it was going to piss me off. I'm so glad that didn't happen. He was behind that.
Yeah, Diablo Cody was the writer for that.
I'm glad. I'm glad he wrote a shitty script because
Diablo Cody is a woman.
oh I'm glad she well that make it even worse.
But yeah, she was she wrote that. Let's see, her most recent movie was the she was the writer and producer on that Lisa Frankenstein movie. I hadn't gotten a chance to watch that, but I actually heard really good things about that.
Oh,
We may have to watch that in the future.
maybe.
It's, because I like Catherine Newton, but yeah, Jennifer's Body, fun time, especially as like a um, kind of cult classic type vibes. But sequel, not so much. For our last story, though, um, for people listening to this on Halloween weekend, Sinners will be back in theaters this weekend. Um, IMAX only, though. So if you are near an IMAX theater, they will be playing Sinners this Halloween weekend until November 3rd. And yeah, just getting that out there in case anybody missed it during the initial run. Me and Mark both highly recommend going to see it in theaters. Probably one of the better theater experiences I had this year. And yeah, if you haven't seen that one, just want to let the folks know. But yeah, if you all haven't seen it, I definitely would recommend going to checking it out. And I will kick it back over to Mark so we can discuss Trick or Treat.
Well, Trick or Treat. I hadn't seen the movie before. I knew about it. I knew about Sam and all his iconicness. I had never actually sat down and watched this movie, and it was actually pretty great. I was very surprised about how interconnected um, each each story was. I thought this was completely anthology. It was going to flip through, and the only connective tissue was going to be Sam. But coming to find out that like pretty much every character we meet gets killed by another character that we met was actually pretty interesting, and I love how they did it, and it was very gory and very cool. I'm glad they didn't punk out and they killed them kids because some movies would have. Also, this was made in 2007. They didn't give a fuck about killing them kids. So I don't know. This was a good movie and surprising movie and a good like Halloween flick. Like I enjoyed it. What are you? What are your thoughts on Trick or Treat?
Oh yeah, so I had seen this. Oh, I don't even know how long ago it was when I first saw this. Um, I really believe that I watched this movie through Netflix when they were giving out DVDs. I think I wanted this, so I got it through there and watched it, and I liked it back then, and it's still a good watch now. And it moves really quick, but I don't feel like there's anything missing. Like it's a pretty short movie, a little under 90 minutes at that, but pacing is really good here. The stories like are woven together, really good. Sam is a good little connective tissue for it, and like some of the subversions that we get with some of the stories is really cool. Um, Along with them being like their own, like in a sense that they are sort of like anthologized in this like in a way, and like it's not a word, but they are like sort of like anthology type stories, but that interconnectedness is what makes it a bit different, kind of what Mark was going off of. So you could look at them, some of them as like their own individual thing, and then it'll rope back into something that we saw a bit earlier, and it's like, oh, okay, so that's what was going on there. So now, and I like the way that that was figured out here with the movie and the way it brought everything together.
Well, let's talk about some of those scenes and kills that set out for us. Good, bad, or indifferent. Honey?
One of my favorite sequences is the whole one with the like the Little Red Riding Hood, and he thinks he got him. He got a girl that he's about to kill after he killed the other girl who during the like parade in the town. And when I definitely remember first seeing it when the like Red Riding when the Red Hood like fell out the tree. You're like, oh shit, what the fuck happened to her? And then it was him, and, and they take out the fake teeth, and I was like, what? Like I was so confused, and then only to flip it, and they're fucking werewolves the whole time. They literally unzip the fucking skin from their body. I was gagged even back then, and I still am today when that reveal happens because that was such a good reveal. Like you really were not expecting that at all, and it still hits even showing people today. Whenever I'm showing someone this movie, and they are always like shock, like in shock at that part. What was your reaction to that? Seeing it for the first time?
Oh my god. I had walked away, so I kind of didn't notice at first it was the principal. And then I was looking, I was like, okay, that's the principal. She finna eat his ass. And I was so happy because I was like, okay, at first I was like, oh, this nerdy man thought he was getting lucky. So, oh my god, oh my god. And then I was like, actually no, fuck him. Like kill him. This man, because it also goes to a scene that stood out for me. He carved a human kid's head like a pumpkin with his child, with his son, like it was normal. I'm happy that Anna Paquin them ate his ass up, but also they were ripping their skin off, like they were taking off like what's the like the Velcro clothes, like they could just snap the
Mm-hmm.
bitches off, like how y'all get to put that back on, like like they were just like taking that shit off like it was Velcro, like what the fuck.
See, when bad
Well,
bitches link up, that's what happens.
stop. But also, like, where's his son? Like, I need to move because, like, his son is out there.
Remember, he was sitting at the crib, like on the outside on the stoop. They like showed
At
a
the end of the
scene of him.
movie,
They like showed a scene of him like sitting outside on like a stoop out at the house. I think he was still giving the kids like candy.
so that kid just finna just grow up an orphan and grow up murderer because, like, he's not normal.
I ain't gonna lie though, he was pissing me off when his dad was trying to finish the job and he kept yelling out the window.
All that fucking yelling, like, you know what your dad is doing, and you out here being crazy. Like, shut up. He's pissing me off. Like, bro, if you don't shut the fuck up, bro. Like,
No,
why you
yeah,
out
he
here
was.
being stupid?
No, yeah, he was annoying me there. Because first of all, why are you yelling out the house? Like, you know what's going on here. But he deserved that anyway. Like he literally he literally killed the little boy from Bad Santa
Mm-mm.
with that candy. Um, yeah, I was not like when I first watched. I was definitely not expecting that at all. That was so crazy to see. Um, Another good scene was when we find out that the the old man the who lived by himself was the bus driver who drove the kids off the cliff, and then they came back to get their licks
That
in.
was insane. That was insane. I was not expecting that to be connected, and I was just like, okay, this is amazing.
And then they came back and got their licks in at the end and finished his ass off. That's what he get. That's why Sam knew what was gonna happen. That's why he let him go. He was like, "Oh, I got my candy, but you got something else coming later. You just don't know yet."
And I just love how that scene ended with him. it ended where we started with the couple,
Hmm.
and I was like this. I was like, oh, this movie and things like that was just like, okay, amazing, amazing. Only time I was really lost is with the kids and the pumpkins. I didn't really. I was like, ugh, I guess I got why it was kind of needed, but I really didn't care about them. But
Um,
speaking of that, wait, do you have any more scenes that stood out for you? Any more kills?
mm,
I will say that whole scene with that kid like vomiting and shit was gross.
it was
But
gross.
also, but also go into that when he was like trying to keep him quiet in the backyard with his neighbor was like, "What's going on back there?" And the kid is still squirming, and he trying to keep him quiet. I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." That was kind of funny.
No, it was. It was a little funny. And you find
But
out
let's.
what the little boy was actually talking about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let's move on to the character section. And we're going to start off with the chart with Charlie and Principal Wilkins, the little boy that got killed. Now, I I clicked it when the scene first started. I was like, "Oh, this guy is going to be evil. He's going to kill this kid. He's going to lock him up." My surprise is when the son is involved. I thought he was just hiding the son, but like, oh no, the son is also involved in this. I thought he was going to kill the son, but no, the son is also helping him carve the kid's head. I mean, also that kid was a dick. He was knocking over everybody's pumpkins. His fat ass was stealing all the treats and shit. Like, sir, take one treat. If he would just took the one treat and left, he'd probably been alive. He tried to steal the whole bowl, and you stealing the whole bowl, and your face is full of chocolate. Like, have some decorum.
Mark, you would have took that whole boat though.
I would have. What about you? What are your thoughts?
um, I would have took the bowl too. I ain't gonna lie. But
Hey, listen, that Sam pretty much is a dare. We're
that's
we're we're not we're not here, and please only take one. Baby, you told me you're not here. Why am I taking this one?
exactly. Um, I just wasn't. I just didn't expect how that happened to go down the way it did. Cause obviously we all know the whole thing of checking your candy, but him actually having like all the concoctions and shit on his desk of like the poison and stuff that he was adding to these chocolates and things like that was crazy. Um, but he must have had it out for him anyway. He came right on time for his ass. Like the principal when he got back, but also like shit, the principal, and then he killed that other girl when they were at the parade, and when they had us thinking that he was like a vampire or something, and when she when when she had like stepped out to the crowd and was trying to get help and all that, and then he just like pulled her under his cloak and then and killed her and left her on the side there. I was like, oh, before we knew it was him, because we didn't know it was him at the time until the mask got taken off later on with the werewolves. But once the mask got taken off and it was like, oh, it's him. I'm like, well, yeah, he got to go. This man is clearly a menace, and he raised a serial killer, as you said earlier. So yeah, he got to go.
Oh, let's move on to Emma and Henry, the couple who we first saw get killed at the beginning of the movie. What are your thoughts, Towan?
It was like I get not liking something, but people who don't like something so much that it starts impeding on other people's fun annoy the fuck out of me. So I ain't gonna lie, I understand why Sam you know was like, well, she gotta go because like, why she ruining the fun for everybody else? Um, Getting back to the crib, like at honestly, it's like why'd you even go out and participate? Like, I'm sure maybe it was probably like the husband's like, oh come on babe, like let's go to the Halloween party or the Halloween parade, blah 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 blah. But like I've never seen somebody, not never seen like I definitely have, but people who, like those type of people who are like that to an extent where they're just downing other people who are trying to have fun just because they don't like something that's so small, like so simple as like Halloween. Like that's annoying. So I get where Sam was coming from where he was like, yeah, she gotta go.
Yep, that was one of the kills. I was like, yes, please get rid of her. He didn't kill the husband, did he? The husband was still alive at the end.
Yeah, he was, because he was
Nice.
partaking in the Halloween.
Well, speaking of partaking in Halloween, what about Laura and her werewolf friends? Lori, I mean.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts?
that whole part of the story was probably my favorite. Um, Especially because like they were the way they was framing it as if like Laura was virgin, she never slept with anyone, and they were like, you need a date for tonight because you gotta we gotta do it. And I mean, well, she did get a date. And then when they pulled up, we see the guys that they were with from earlier, that now they're like dead on the side, like the guys who were like on the news van that the friends that were with, they're there, and like they got killed already. Um, so I say we love women in STEM. They did a good job. They did what they needed to do, and the guys fell for it very easily, as we saw, because they had some bodies there. They had a good like 10 bodies there on the ground that they
It was
were
a body per were girl.
yeah, you're right. It was about like 9 or 10 of them. So yeah, they got a little, they had a little count going, and then Lori got hers, which like even more power for her because he thought he had him a lick, and he the one that got bit.
He was about to kill. He was gonna kill her,
Yep.
and probably try to kill one of her friends. So he got what he deserved. That was the first deserved murder in the entire film. Get them motherfuckers.
I agree.
Well, let's move on to the kids. The
Mm,
kids and their investigating the bus crash, which ties into our last story with the neighbor. Um, the way she said it was 30 years ago, and it just wasn't clicking. Like, oh, somebody we could know the bus driver. I'm thinking 30. That's a long ass time ago, but 30 isn't that long. Isn't that much longer time ago? Because I'm starting to figure out. So when you discovered that the bus driver is the neighbor, I was like, oh, okay, this is a good way to tie it all in. Because he just in that. But oh wait, but also, how long has he been there? So has he lived in this area all this time while also being the bus driver that disappeared?
probably.
But wouldn't they know that he was the bus driver that disappeared?
I'm not sure, but also when she was telling the story, didn't she tell like the parents wanted to get rid of the kids anyway? And like, what if it's kind of one of those like town
Okay.
secrets, like
One
open
of the
secrets of
okay.
the town?
Okay, that make like oh like we all got together and killed Freddy Krueger, but we ain't gonna tell
Yeah,
nobody about it.
like that type
Okay.
of deal.
That makes more sense. But those kids were evil and they played a bad trick on that girl and they deserve what they got. But I will say that one guy at the end, he felt sorry for her. He was letting her like he was comforting her. He didn't deserve to die. But the rest of them,
Which one you talk
they
about?
had to go.
The tall one,
Yeah.
man. Just because he learned empathy 5 minutes after almost giving this
I
little
mean,
girl a heart attack,
she could have,
she could have
he
died when
could
she hit her head.
valid. Okay, you valid. I was just trying to get a man, just trying to, I was just trying. He tried at the end, but he deserved to get eaten. I support that. But listen, when she pushed that button and she just went up, and I was like, "Oh, you's a bad bitch."
Oh yeah,
And she just walked past Sam. I was like, "Okay, okay, I fuck with it."
deserved. And Sam was. You didn't see it, but I saw it. He was on the side doing the little clock it.
Mhm.
He's like, you ate that.
But actually, Sam is the last character on our list. What are your thoughts of Sam? Because I will say that I expected Sam to have a bigger presence in this film, only because he's the thing that everyone knows of this film. I went to a collectors convention a couple weeks ago, and they had like a whole like Halloween section, and I saw like Sam like toys and like book bags and all types of shit. So I was expecting Sam to just be like in almost every single shot, every single story of the film, and I was kind of surprised that he really wasn't.
I feel like there was just the right amount of Sam where he needed to be for him to become like the iconography needed of this movie. I think it was like perfect that how it was utilized, especially with the old man. Like we got to see like find out like Sam is like a little pumpkin man almost. Um and speaking of which, I almost forgot to mention when Mr. Krieg shot his ass with the shotgun and he just flew back. It was giving me Chucky vibes. Where he just flew, like Sam's little body just flew back against the wall. That was pretty funny. Forgot to mention that, but I think there was a perfect amount of him in here. We got to see a little bit of what he's about. He he got the kill at the beginning. Um, so yeah, I don't. I'm glad that like Sam was used mildly because it could have been overdone, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I get that. I support that. But you know what? I also support you giving us the behind the scenes info. And
Will do. So, Trick or Treat had a budget of 12 million and a box office of 27,000 27,909. Some interesting facts. Doherty announced in October 2009 that he was planning a sequel, but later stated there was no active development nor an attempt at a pitch. A sequel was announced in October 2013, but there was a change in Legendary's management. Doherty has continued to express interest in the sequel, but said the film stands on its own. In October 2023, Doherty confirmed that several screenplay drafts were complete, confirming that the progress had only recently continued due to the end of the 2023 Writers Guild of America strike. He also clarified that he hoped to be looking at budgetary and scheduling concerns afterwards. Some critics' reactions: the film currently sits at a 37% on Rotten Tomatoes. Bloody Disgusting ranked the film ninth in their list of the top 20 horror films of the decade, calling it so good that its lack of a theatrical release borders on criminal. And Dread Central gives it 5 out of 5 stars, stating Trick or Treat ranks alongside John Carpenter's Halloween as traditional October viewing. But enough of them. What about us? Mark, are you cashing or passing Trick or Treat?
I'm cashing this movie. This is actually like a fun movie, and like you can enjoy each segment, if you can call them segments, like on their own. But discovering that they're all like slightly interconnected, because it's not some big like overarching connection. Like if you didn't watch that first part with the principal his murdering that kid with his son, like that doesn't take away from the scene where he's been eaten with the werewolves. It changes how you see it a bit, but doesn't change the like how good that whole like story is. So I'm glad that they were able to like have each one have like stand alone and also be connected and not like overshadow each other. So it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. And while I say I want a sequel, I mean I'd watch it, but I don't know. It they would have to like up the ante. And I feel like they do what I hate anthologies to do is, okay, this was good, so like let me come back and make it all overly connected this time. So, but it's a
Okay.
cash. This is a good movie. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. I also give this one a cash. I always recommend this one to people because it's a very quick watch and like just easy to get
You know,
into.
you're right. That did go by fast.
Yeah, it's like
It didn't feel like it was dragged at all. Actually, you're
yeah,
right about that.
it moves really quick and yeah, less than 90 minutes. That's a good little sweet spot for a movie, I feel. So I definitely catch this one. I think the way it connects the story works really good. I'm always down for like a regular anthology as well, like something along the lines of like a VHS. But the way this one kind of will like um, weave those stories together was really nice. And yeah, I think Doherty worked out good with this one. As Mark mentioned, if a sequel were to happen, I would definitely check it out. I just hope the script is as tight, and he wouldn't feel the need to boost up like budget or anything like that to do anything too crazy, because I think the stories here worked because they were fairly simple. Like even something as crazy as like the werewolves was still a bit simple. We only saw a bit of it and it gave us what we needed for the story and then it moved on. It didn't like give any background, we didn't need it. It just worked for what we were going for.
And just like that, we've come to the end and join Elion and Tuan next week as they review The Skeleton Key. And after that, we'll be reviewing Malignant. I'm so excited for both. We kick off Skeleton Key next week. Happy Halloween. Until next time, good night.
If you like this episode, please be sure to check out some from the Haddonfield Horror Cemetery, where we've covered big franchises such as Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Saw, or one-off reviews like The Blackening or Hereditary. You can follow Haddonfield Horrors on Instagram and TikTok, where the host posts updates and mini reviews. Full episodes are available on several podcasting platforms, including Spotify, as well as YouTube. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please be sure to like and subscribe. The Haddonfield Horrors podcast is produced by Mark Smart, Tawan Griffin, and Elion Cordova, themed by Lethal Injection, and edited by Mark Smart.
The Haddonfield Horror Podcast is a letter to media production.
Should we do an intro?